When you need a mortgage, don't stress at all. Just tune right in and give these guys.
Good morning, YouTube. Today is Friday, May 15th. It is freaking springtime, I think, boys. What's going on?
What's going on, fellas? Looks like I got the biggest coffee cup ever.
It's as big as your head. Yeah, I don't know if it's spring. I don't know if it's summer. I don't know if it's winter. Thank God you live in Atlanta because you know what season it is. It's spring down there, but up here, we don't know. It was winter yesterday. Might be spring today. I think tomorrow and through Monday will be summer. I'm not sure.
These years keep flying by. School's almost done. And we got a countdown yet for the kiddos?
You know what, man? Our kids are done like at the end of the month, man. So they got like 2 weeks and they're done. So they're pumped up. I don't remember getting out of school until like June. You know, it's like
They don't got snow days anymore. You got those whatever they call them days.
in service.
School from home days.
School from home. We got school from home, and Memorial Day is probably the earliest day it could ever be this year too. So that's playing into the factor. Yeah,
but it is hopping out there. Everyone's doing this, doing that, planning vacations, and also buying homes. There's a lot of buying homes right now, but today we're going to focus on buying condos because believe it or not, guys, a condo, something with an association, completely different than buying a single family home.
Yeah, and it's all going to be how it's listed in the deed and all the condo docs or HOA docs, I should say, as well, because that will determine how it is listed, you know, as that condo or the townhome, which is very important. And that's kind of what we want to go over today, of the importance of the difference between the two.
Well, here's the importance, really. One, there's certain rules that we can talk about. Two, there's things agents need to understand. There's things the lender needs from the buyer or the seller. And sometimes the seller doesn't get us what we need. And it drives us crazy a little bit, Anthony.
Yeah. I mean, it starts with knowing what you're selling. It makes it even tougher if you ask the listing agent, you know, is this a condo or a PUD? And nobody knows. And you have to know what you're selling, because if you don't, and we go with one way and it ends up being another, it's going to create issues, especially if the place is not warrantable or anything like that. So knowing what you're selling and the client knowing what they're buying is going to be very important.
And there are aspects that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac need out of an association. There's some associations of how they do things will not allow certain mortgage types. And you cannot tell this by looking at the complex. There's no eyeball test to say if financing is going to be difficult or not. The only test is to get the condo questionnaire filled out and let the lender review the condo questionnaire to make sure there's no issues. And because HOAs are always changing, guys, if you have a condo questionnaire from 6 months ago, it's not always any good because things could have changed in those last 6 months. And everyone, Anthony, wants to get up in arms about the condo questionnaire. We need it. We can't fill it out. And if you don't get it to us in a timely manner, it will 1,000% delay closing. And then we have all kinds of agents yelling at the lender about a delayed closing for documents they didn't get to the lender in time.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be required on any lending platform when it comes to condos and PUDs with an association. I mean, mainly the lender has to document and verify the ownership interest in those properties, whether it's primary residence, second homes, investments. If the builder owns more than 20%, you know, there's a lot of things that have to be verified to make it warrantable to be able to get residential financing on any program offered. So we need that questionnaire. The sooner we get it, the better. Usually comes over with the the resale packet. But if the agent and the seller can get that in advance, that could make the process smoother in the very, very beginning, and or we can let you know what type of financing we can do on that specific property.
Well, my favorite is, and Anthony keeps using the term PUD, and that's a planned unit development. My favorite is, Tom, when someone will say, oh, that's a townhouse. Did you guys know a townhouse is not a type of, it's not a type of property?
Yeah. Townhouse is just what we call it, kind of a slang word, I guess we could say, in the real estate world. But when you're looking at how the deed's written and everything like that, you need to figure out who owns the land and what's, actually going on with that piece of property, as it will completely be different from a planned unit development or a PUD or a condo. And that's all going to be written out in the bylaws. And we'll also be able to tell, from different questions answered on the condo questionnaire. But you have to get these documents to us. We're actually even willing to help you figure out if it's a condo before you list it, if you get us the condo questionnaire. We are totally okay with seeing if it's warrantable, but we need the condo questionnaire. We're not going to go hunt down this condo questionnaire on our own. We're not calling the HOA for it. You have to do that as the real estate agent. That is your job.
And eye test. I talked about that a couple minutes ago. How many times you get the call, oh, this looks like a townhouse? I mean,
it happens every townhouse or condo, I guess, because a ton of them, most condos aren't an apartment style complex. Most condos come in like a patio home form, or maybe there's 4 of them. Where we grew up, there's a place called Pennsbury Village, and they look exactly like townhomes, but we all know they're condos. So it doesn't matter what the looks are. It matters what the documents say.
And guys, Anthony can attest to this. That little wrong information or confusion to the lender told PUD over condo can cause changes in interest rates, cause changes in financing, cause changes in a lot of items. It is a big deal. A lot of newer real estate agents will think condo, townhouse, PUD, they're all the same. It doesn't matter. And that could not be farther from the truth.
Yeah. I mean, a PUD doesn't have the same review process as a condo does. There's definitely a lot more in depth on condo reviews, especially, deferred maintenance, occupancy, et cetera. But yeah, they're not one and the same. And if it ends up being, in the middle of a transaction, we find out, hey, this is not a warrantable condo, which means it can't go regular residential financing, that could actually increase that buyer's down payment from 3 or 5% to 20, 25%. That interest rate could go from, mid 6s to high 7s, so it really depends on the type of property. And that's why it's important for us to know up front, because if you find out at the end, you're going to jeopardize the deal, and possibly that deal might not go through.
Yeah,
so
it's so true. And this was one of the main reasons we want to talk about this, because for some reason, it is a big deal to figure out if your property is a condo or not. But for some reason, it just gets kind of pushed to the side. And guys, weirdly in Pittsburgh, there's more and more complexes and associations that are having trouble getting Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac approval because of deferred maintenance and other maintenance issues that are popping up with these HOAs. They're not following the guidelines that we need for the mortgage world, which is causing issues for financing. So like Anth said, we don't want a problem halfway through the transaction because we're just finding out the information.
Yeah, and I think people need to not be have to have a little understanding, when it comes to lending, because everybody wants to get mad at the lender if we can't do a specific condo. We are collateralizing that property by lending that client the money to be able to buy that property. So you have to understand, if we're lending the money to be able to go on that property, we want to make sure everything is in line. It's a good property. There's not major deficiencies as far as deferred maintenance that are going to have to, be dealt with or could cause more issues in the future. So I don't think a lot of people understand that. They just want to close the deal, which is wonderful. We all want to help the client close the deal, but it has to be done the right way.
Couldn't have said it better. Mr. Burko, take us out on this Friday.
Enjoy the golf this weekend. Enjoy the beach-like weather, and have a good weekend.
See you, boys.
See you guys.
Tom Ryan